After World War I, America and other parts of the world went through rough economic times. America faced a stock market crash that ruined their whole economy. Jobs were lost, money was gone, and ultimately, people suffered. Not only was this hard enough on the economy, but the Dust Bowl came along and made it worse. It was a series of storms like wind that ruined parts of the West's soil and crops. People couldn't plant, food was scarce, and this led to people storming their homeland in search of better opportunities more in the West. Franklin D. Roosevelt became president in 1933 and faced a terrible storm with America's economy. FDR created the New Deal, which was a series of acts and programs to help relieve, recover, and reform the economy and the American people. An example of a program set by the New Deal was the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. The FDIC guaranteed up to $250,000 of your money if it was lost in a bank that failed. Germany was also suffering with a bad economy. They were also mad about their loss in World War I and felt their punishment was unfair under the Treaty of Versailles. Adolf Hitler came into power of Germany and soon after became dictator. People looked at Hitler as a savior and hope out of Germany's problems. With some support of his people, Hitler decided to attack on other countries. The first part of the war was the Blitzkrieg in Western Europe along Poland and other parts like England and France. Germany used air combat, tanks, and infantry to attack Poland, England, and France. America wanted to stay away from the war as long as possible because they didn't want to get into the other countries' affairs. Their decision to enter the war came with the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. The Japanese were planning on attacking and taking over the Pacific, and after the U.S. stopped supplying goods like oil to Japan, they took it as a threat and saw America as getting in their way of attacking the Pacific. The Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor in Hawaii by surprise, and it left the U.S. to decide to go to war. With the U.S. in the war, the economy went back up with the opening of jobs for war product production. This was the first time women and African Americans held jobs in factories and in the war. With the war still going on in Europe, the fighting still occurred, this time with the Soviet Union. Germany tried to attack Russia, but got stopped with the harsh weather Russia was endowing. Many soldiers lost their life with the Battle of Stalingrad that happened in Russia during the attack the Germans played. The next part of the war was in Europe. This was called D-Day. This amazingly well-planned attack involved the U.S. and other Allied forces to attack Germany on the beaches of France. Germany was caught totally off guard. This was a part of the war that gave hope to the Allied powers for winning the war. Towards the end of the war, more triumph was occurring in Germany involving Jewish citizens. The Nazi Party of Germany, led by Hitler, led a mass execution of the Jewish population. The Jews were blamed for the problems Germany faced with the war and the bad economy. Jewish citizens, along with gays and Jehovah's Witnesses, were held in concentration camps where they were stripped of their rights and were basically tortured and then killed. More than 6 million were killed during the Holocaust. As Germany continued to get pushed back by the Allied powers, Hitler committed suicide along with his mistress. Germany surrendered right after his suicide, and the U.S., along with Russia, continued to push back German troops back to Berlin. After this, the Allied powers had won World War II. Once again, Germany was stripped of their military rights. The Allied powers, like Russia, the U.S., France, and Britain, took over territories in Germany and made sure that Germany would get back on track, and they wouldn't leave until Germany was back on track.
Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.